Alright guys, I'm sorry about where I left off. As I explained, YouTube's time restrictions kind of got me a little in over my head. So I'm going to continue pretty much where I left off. Um, you can go in to edit your program and delete everything out of it. Um, Next, we're just going to learn a little quick program that will teach us both a new function and help us use variables a bit better. We'll start out with the ever important clear home, and then we're going to use the new function, which is input. From here, all there is the input, quotation, and then what we want to be displayed before we have our user type in text. And in our case, we're going to be having a quick little calculating the area of a rectangle um, program going on here. Alright, so in this case we're going to want to ask for side 1, and then we'll have a comma at the end of the last quotation mark and our variable, in my case x. Next we want to go ask for side 2. And in this case, we're not going to want to use x again because first after we ask for side 1 and store side 1 to x, then we'll be storing side 2 to x, and that wouldn't work out very well. In my case, I'm going to use y. You can use anything other than whatever your first variable was. And alright, from there, now that we have the information that we wanted, we're going to have to do something with it. In our case, to get an area of a rectangle, it's x times y. And we're going to store that answer to a new variable, which I'll call z. Alright, and now we're going to want to have it display the answer that we got. So in my case, I'll just write in answer. I'm not sure if I'm spelling this right, so excuse me if I'm not. And now it'll say answer, and then we'll display z, which it'll say answer and then show us what the answer was. Alright, now running this new program, we'll have side 1, which we'll call 10, and side 2, which we'll call 5. It'll just say the answer is 50, and we can run it again with any other numbers, and it'll just multiply them and give us our answer. Alright, well that's a simple little program using variables and user input. So now, once again, you can start a new program or continue with this one. We're going to learn the next handy little set of features, and that's if, then, else, and end. So what if does is it starts an if-then statement, and it'll basically say if something is true, then it will do something with the in the code. In this case, let's say if x e excuse that equals 1. Now we'll have then, and then we'll have it do something. So for simplicity's sake, we'll just have it display something, and we'll say hi. Alright. Next, after that, we end it. Now, whenever you start this program, if x equals 1, then it'll do everything between then and the end. In this case, it's only displaying hi. And if it doesn't, it just won't do anything. Let's also add, say, if x equals 0. then we'll have it do something else. So then we'll have it display, say, by, and we'll show in that one. Now, on its own, this wouldn't do a whole lot because we're not doing anything with X. So let's add a little something to the top. This is going to be a very useful another little function. You find it in math, and then probability, which is PRB, and random integer. What it does is you put in a first number, comma, and then a second number, and it will pick anything between those two numbers, and then store it into the answer variable. The answer variable is not important. The brief explanation is whenever you do anything with with expressions or even on the calculator, um, like for example, just to show you, 2 plus 5, the 7 is what was stored in answer. And for example, if you've noticed using calculators, if you hit minus, they have the answer, and then say 4, and it had 7, and then minus 4. So yeah, that's basic. It'll store that into the answer variable. Or if you want it to be stored somewhere else, in our case we want it to go to X, it'll do so. And so yeah, random integer just will pick between either 0, anything between 0 or X, or 1, and then store it to X. So we could have put between 0 and 2, and it'll either pick 0, 1, or 2. In our case, we only want 0 or 1. Alright, so now it will store it, after storing one of those to X. If it picked 1, it'll display high. If it picked 0, it'll display by. And now we'll test that out. Run it, high. We hit enter again, by, high, and etc. It'll just go on randomly. This is pretty much the basics of if, then, end, and the random integer. Let's see, to finish this off, I'll explain a little bit about else. In our case, we're only using two different variables, well, two different possibilities to come out. So we can use something called else. Now, what that is we'll get rid of this little section of code, go in the program, and add else in. Now, if x equals 1, then it'll display high. And if it doesn't equal 1, if it doesn't matter what else it equals, it will display by. So now, because it's between the else and the end, or anything else that we might have put there. But yeah, so in this case now it's the exact same program as before. The difference is that it takes up less space, and it could be useful for other things. Example, if we put 2 here, now if it equals 1, whenever it randomly picks, it'll have a 1 out of 3 chance of picking high, or a 2 out of 3 chance of picking by, because if it hits 0 or 2, it'll say by, and if it hits 1, it'll say high. So let's test out the program now. By, high, by, high, by, high. And it turns out that it's not making a huge difference, but that's just, you know, luck and chance and all that. So yeah, for right now, that'll be the finish of this part of the basics. Yeah, sorry, part 3 will be out in a little while, but yeah, YouTube is restricting me. So I'll see you in part 3 of basics. Bye.